Well, finally, let's talk about something that might be a factor in elections, which is the way that things appear to be real when sometimes they're not. Holograms are a regular feature in science fiction, but their use in real life and in business is growing rapidly. The 3D flexible image technology is getting better and cheaper. It's now being used in a range of industries, including entertainment, education, design and defence. Phil Mercer's been meeting entrepreneurs and academics in Australia who are looking to embrace a holographic future.
Do you know about the new hologram zoo that opened in Brisbane, Australia? The zoo has over 50 animals, but not one of them are real.
Hologram is a Greek word meaning whole message or picture. At the Hologram Zoo, new depth technology makes the 3D animals seem big. Bruce Dell is the head of Axiom Holographics and the zoo's creator.
I think the thing at the moment we're most proud of is the 30-meter whale. So when people go in and they see a giant 30-meter whale, there's lots of laughing, lots of screaming at Hologram Zoo. But when the 30-meter whale goes by, for some reason, everyone goes silent.
Because it's not a normal zoo, we were even able to see all the dinosaurs as if someone had brought them back to life.
In the Cherry Blossom Festival, to have cherry blossoms fall down all around you with lovely, Japanese music, you reach out your hand to touch them, they go through your hand and out the other side. There's a section where in the Cherry Blossom Festival, a mother pig comes on a big rock with all her little furry baby pigs. This is very high quality stuff, yet it's come out at a fraction of the price. So I think we're going to begin the hologram revolution now, where universities, schools, education, entertainment centers, everyone now has access to holograms at a fraction of the cost.
We have this interest from big companies, and we are seeing every year more and more interest, more and more investment into this R&D.
Professor Dragomir Nishev is from the Australian National University. He's experimenting with holograms made from miniature lasers. When the beams pass over tiny meta surfaces, which are just millimeters in size, they can manipulate the wave of light similar to a traditional lens, but at a much smaller scale.
Facebook, Google, and Apple are big drivers into this, and now we are seeing more, even the conventional like eyewear companies kind of investing significant resources into this. So I'm confident, or I'm at least hopeful, that we will be able to speed up this development, but it's still probably more than 5 to 10 years away from where we are now.
Alex is a coming-of-age play. It's about a young girl named Charlie.
Hologram techniques have also inspired what's described as a world-first collaboration between psychology and theatre at the Queensland University of Technology. Alex is an hour-long play about a child who's lost her father and charts her attempts to find him, as well as her own journey of self-discovery.
Alex looks very much like a traditional play until the holographic image appears.
Dr. Shane Pike is the show's writer.
So the way we achieve this communal augmented reality is through the use of hologauze, a special material that appears invisible to the naked eye, but when lit with an image projected from our high-powered projectors, it is captured by the gauze and appears as an embodied character.
Back at the Hologram Zoo, Bruce Dell is reveling in his digital trickery.
How do we lie to your brain? How do we make you think that something is there when it isn't?
Phil Mercer there, reporting on the advent of holograms, things that may not be what they seem. Zyma, does that make you wince at the thought that you might another way of deceiving our brains, or is it something that was going to open up a lot of opportunities?
I love the concept of a holographic zoo. I don't think zoos should exist. And if it's really that fascinating as it sounds, then why not? This is something I could get behind.
Yes, I mean that's one
Go
way of
ahead
doing
and
it.
deceive me.
Yes, no, that seems as you say a bit more humane. Perhaps we can have a 30-foot whale without putting or a 30-meter whale without actually putting one in reality. Kimberly, is this something that you think is going to change the way we work, business perhaps, as well as everything else?
this is something that's been predicted for so many years now, that either augmented reality or virtual reality is going to change the way that we work. We haven't seen it yet. We mainly are seeing these sort of artistic deployments or deployments for entertainment, more so than it's sort of affecting our day-to-day lives. I do love the idea of more people getting broader access to see things that they might not otherwise be able to see. You know, I recognize the problems with zoos, but I do think that they have a role in conservation. And so I do wonder how this might, you know, maybe if they can show animals that they don't have because they've gone extinct, or animals that are at higher risk and so need to be protected in their natural habitat, if being able to present them in this way might help those conservation efforts in some way.
In these nice areas, I'm going to still inject a certain amount of skepticism, because we've been talking about ways in which we can be deceived, you know, cyber kidnapping, all kinds of things. Aren't holograms just another way of being able to do that? I mean, we can generate voices, perhaps we can generate images that'll make us believe things and people are there when they're not.
There's nothing wrong with having new technology. We just need to have more legislation and more ways of business and how we use that. Every time there's something like a new innovation coming up, there are always fears that it's going to be abused, it's going to be misused, and those fears are I mean, there are grounds for those fears, but that does not mean we should not go ahead and do it anyway. I would love to see a world where we have more policymakers putting their heads together on how to restrain these.
Well, restraint is always the problem in these things, but maybe your optimism is right and people will get together and they'll sort this out. I hope so. Anyway, this has been a very real production, I assure you, of Business Matters. My very real guests, Kimberly Adams and Zama Islam. My thanks to them for being with us. And we're back at the same time tomorrow, so please join us then for another edition of Business Matters. From all of us here, bye-bye.